Now we're recording. For folks on Zoom, make sure to put your call sign on. That would be great. Good evening. I'm James Goldstene with River City ARCS. I'm this year's president, always looking for next year's president. How many years in a row did you do it, Phil? Just 2. Okay. There should be term limits, shouldn't there? No. So we're going to go through the reports up front. We do not have an outside guest speaker this month. Sorry to disappoint you, but we wanted to focus on Field Day. And we're going to go through the committee reports. We're going to talk about Field Day. We're going to do show and tell. And then we're going to do the raffle. We're also going to, hey, Chuck, we're going to remember JoJo's wife, Madge. And Dave, KK6MVJ, is going to do a short presentation. But Carol's back east, and it's late for her, so we're going to ask her to do her report. So, Carol, are you ready?
Okay. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, I'm turning up the volume. Go ahead
Yeah,
again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Testing. How's this?
Can you guys hear?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, very good. Very good evening to everyone. It's 10 o'clock here in Virginia. I'm over here visiting with my daughter and grandkids, taking care of some family business. And I am your vice president and also the ARRL Sacramento Valley section manager. So I want to thank you all very much. I'm going to see if I can share my report here. Okay, just a moment. Bring it up. Okay, you should be able to see that. Okay, this is the web resource report for River City ARCS for the past month of May. Just again, want to recall to everyone the passing of Madge Melendres. She was a longtime member of our club from when she was first licensed, beloved wife of Jojo Melendres, also a member of this club. And I'm sure we'll hear more about her later on this club meeting. In radio history, June is significant for being June 13th being the birth date of James Maxwell, physicist and mathematician from Scotland, who theorized on the existence of electromagnetic waves that move through space at light speed. And thanks to him, we have our hobby and all wireless telecommunications. Also, a reminder to check your QSG magazine if you're an ARRL member. This is a very valuable benefit you have as an ARRL member. The June issue, of course, is a field day issue. There's a lot of material in there about your preparations for field day. So if you're not currently a member of the ARRL, I strongly suggest that you consider joining and supporting our hobby that way and get many benefits in return. Just a reminder also, our website is n6na.org. We try to keep it up to date with all information about what's going on in the club and in the amateur radio community. And of course, Field Day is the big event coming up this month. This is our major operating event of the year. It starts, the actual operation starts Saturday, 11 a.m., and it goes through Sunday at 11 a.m. We're going to be at Dry Creek Ranch in Rio Linda. And for those of you who have never been to a field day, it's quite an experience. I'm sure you're going to hear a lot about it later today. A lot of resources on our website also for preparing for operating field day. like to announce here that at the California State Fair, we're going to have an amateur radio exhibit and a special event station. And that's going to go through the dates of the fair, July 11th to 27th. And we're looking for volunteer operators who would like to participate. We don't expect you to be there every day, of course, but the days that you're able to, especially the weekends and the weekdays, will be also available. For those who volunteer, you will be provided a parking pass and a gate pass to get into the fair at no expense to you. So if you want to join our team, you could sign up. There is a form on www.sacramentoaries.org. You're not required to be a member of any club or Aries if you wish to volunteer and participate. Upcoming events. There's a ham swap meet in Minden, Nevada on June 7th. Of course, the club breakfast would be the one at Brookfield on Madison Avenue on the 21st of June. The one that we normally have on the 28th of June is preempted by Field Day. And pretty much that's the major events happening for the month of June. Contest for June 7 and 8. There's Atlantic Canada QSO Party and Kentucky QSO Party. Also the ARRL International Digital Contest. The June 14th to 16th, the ARRL June VHF Contest. June 21st to 22nd, the West Virginia QSO Party. And June 28th to 29th is ARRL Field Day. Remember our nets. Tomorrow night will be our 2-meter net at 8 p.m. and followed by the 10-meter net at 8:30 p.m. and a slow scan TV net at 9 p.m. The roundtable net, very well attended on 40 meters, lower sideband, Saturdays at 3 p.m. And I just have a partial list here of the check-ins for the month of May. We have quite a bit of activity. The major activity, of course, on the 2-meter net. The 10-meter net is going strong, as well as the slow scan TV net, and then the Saturday 40-meter nets as well. Always looking for net control operators who wish to volunteer. June 18th will be our backup repeater net. That's when we use the backup repeater on the west side of the valley. The only difference is it's the same frequency pair, but it uses a different PL tone, 123. Website activity for the month of May. The peak activity, well, the total page views during May were 912. The peak web page views were on May 21st. And that was the day that we put up the announcement about the passing of Madge Melendres. It seemed to draw a lot of interest on the net, on the web page. The most visited web pages during the month of May, of course, were the home page, then the repeater page, the nets page, the silent keys page, where we have an obituary for Madge Melendres, and then another page there about the DIY Radio Builders Group, Tuna Tin S, which is one of the projects that we worked on a number of years ago. Most of the hits to our website come through web research engines, which would be Google, Bing, and 36% were direct hits to our n6na.org URL. Most of the views also came from the United States, with some others in other countries, United Kingdom and Canada being the next two major countries. Our YouTube channel, we now have 590 subscribers. We had a total of 1,254 video views during the month of May, most of them going to the January meeting program, which was the introduction to the QMX Plus. There is a surge of interest in that particular transceiver now, since there was a release of the upgrade that allows this little transceiver to work on single sideband. So quite a bit of interest in that. Facebook page has 1,178 followers. Our Facebook group, 125 members. Twitter has 161 followers, and the Discord chat has 48 members. And again, if you wish to make have any questions for the club, you can send an email to contact@n6na.org, and we will get your questions answered and serve you. Uh, Thank you very much. I'm hoping that my audio is coming through and that the video did too. And I'll turn it back to you, James, KP4MD. Over.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. That was perfect. Any questions for Carol? Dave?
Good evening, Carol. Hope your daughter's doing well.
Thank you.
Question: I saw in the newsletter that came out last week that Tony has stepped down as Pacific Division, or he's moved elsewhere within the ARRL leadership. And I can't remember the fellow's name, who's originally from San Joaquin section, who is now the Pacific Region or Division Director. I haven't contacted him because I started to try and get things going in the Philippines so that Tony would have a welcome there if he should stop by, because there's a lot of ARRL members there. And if he got out to Guam, he could hop over to the Philippines and meet some different ARRL members. But I thought that you might know what was going on there at the Pacific Division.
Yes, I can answer that right now. The current acting Pacific Division Director is John Litz. That's November Zulu 6 Quebec. He was the vice director, and so he automatically moves up in the position of director. And so that's what he's serving as right now. And there's currently a search going on to fill that vice director position. And I have been contacted about that. I can't say who the final decision is going to be to fill in that position as vice director. But if I do move into that position, then I will no longer be section manager. But nothing's definite on that. That's still in the process of being decided. Thank you very much for the question.
Carol, this is Jim Feldman, KF6JF. I had a question about some of the web stats. I'm wondering if those reflect web crawlers hitting our pages, or is that, can you somehow filter those out?
Well, that comes from Google Analytics, and I don't think that there's any specific way that we could filter things out like that, but I could just tell you that the trends are pretty consistent from one month to the other. But I don't think we can actually get the granularity of that report down to that point that you are interested in. And I don't know if many websites could do that either.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was just wondering because we keep showing like 4 or 5 hits a month from Russia, and that seems unusual.
No, there are several months where we don't get anything from Russia. And I'm not, I mean, they actually don't have a great firewall like China has there yet. So I don't doubt that people are getting onto our website and looking for information that pops up on the web search engines. And we do have quite a bit of information and archives on our website.
They want to see N6 PGQ's tower raising, and they want
Yes,
to watch Carol's QMX kit build presentation.
yes, both of those are very popular. And yeah, especially Bob's presentation on his tower raising. That's a lot of hits. It's a very popular YouTube video that we have up.
Other questions for Carol? Yes, Bob, you should look at the video about your antenna. Do you want the microphone?
I have some bad news. Step IR that made my antenna that has been famous a couple of times is ceasing business in about 2 months. So if you need parts or want an antenna that's still on their webpage, you may want to buy it or not, because they won't be around much longer.
Wow, thanks, Bob. Other questions for Carol? All right, Carol, thanks for your presentation from Virginia. Are you going to go to WA1W? Did I get that right?
Now, I've had to cancel that because of an unforeseen family medical emergency that caused me to cancel that commitment that I had. So I'm afraid it's not going to come to fruition this month. Sorry.
That's all right. That's too bad. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. And we can't wait till you get back. Thank you.
Sylvia asks, yeah, Sylvia on chat asks if we're doing introductions.
After Sylvia gives her presentation.
Okay, I'll stay on for a while here. Thank you very much.
All right. Sylvia, it's your turn.
Let's see.
Where's the dog?
I can't tell if she's chewing on something she should be or not.
Tom's shoes.
What is going on here?
We can see it. We can see
Oh,
it.
okay, I
Yeah.
can't see you, but all right. So we had 4 new members sign up this month. So we're at 120 active, 67 expiring soon, and 5 still inactive. There's one person I want to contact about that, but I haven't done it yet. So we have 187 members total, realish members. We've been working on switching over to signing up the new members on Ham Club Online too. And we're still working through the instructions for the new members to the link and the instructions for them to sign up that way. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have the instructions all vetted and put up online.
Thanks, Sylvia. And let me tell you, Miller Greenfield is a new member. Thank you, Miller, for joining. And he was our test case for using Ham Club Online to sign up new members. So thank you for your patience with that. So thanks, Sylvia. And then many of you might have seen my note saying if you haven't paid your dues, please pay your dues. So I appreciate that. It's we used to do it all by check and cash, which you can still do, but doing it online really simplifies the process. Okay, go ahead, Sylvia. Thank you.
And so besides Miller, we would like to welcome Tony Anthony, Michael Pohl, and Art Botterell. I hope I came close to pronouncing that correctly. So
Are any of those Miller's here? Who else? Any of the new members here tonight? All right, just checking. Okay, go ahead, Sylvia.
So the total deposits in the Safe Credit Union account as of May 27th is $9,905.75, of which $5,992 is the general fund and $3,912 are for the repeater fund. And again, we'd like to thank David Minke and Lawrence Upjohn for their repeater fund donations. Those come in every month. We have upcoming expenses, and there's still about $400 in outstanding checks. Bob, I haven't checked to see if you deposited it yet, but I will check that soon. And then field day refreshments and dinners typically runs around $400. It's been more, it's been less. So, and then there's a Ham Club Online donation, which is, I think, was told, Wilson told me it was like, I think it's $1 per person.
Yeah, they like $1 a member for
donation.
Yeah.
So sorry, my arm had to come up because she's apparently, Tom said, graduated from Baby Shark to Tyrannosaurus Rex. which you can kind of see by my decorations on my arm. So those are upcoming expenses. And then the categorized funds paid and received within these dates is are as shown here. So I don't know if I'm not going to read all these. You can look.
Yeah,
at
you
them.
don't have to read it. If somebody wants the detail, we're happy to email you the,
But this is just the
document.
ones that had entries, with the exception of the repeater fund expenditures. There are many more line items in the spreadsheet. They don't all get funds received or removed each month. Some of them are only once a year. So this gives you a general idea about what comes in, what goes out, and then I only put it in the list when it's actually not when I write the check, but when it hits the bank. So when the money goes out at the bank or comes into the bank. So, and the money gets moved from PayPal into the bank and vice versa. It's moved from the bank into PayPal if we have something set up to do automatically on PayPal. So I think that's it. If anyone has any questions.
Thank you very much, Sylvia. I know that it's, the treasurer job is the most important job in the club. Wilson and Phil and others who've had that job can attest to that. It's a really important job. We're not too busy as a club, but we're pretty good size and we got some activity going on. Any
There's-
questions for here's
there's-
Phil. Phil has something to add. Oop,
Right.
sorry, Neil.
He's trying to trip you up. The treasurer is actually the business manager of our club. And he's also responsible to report to the, what is it, the California State
Secretary,
yeah,
Secretary of State,
no,
Controller,
it's, franchise tax board.
one of those agencies.
And so there's a lot that rests on the shoulders of the treasurer. And it's one of those things that's got to be done every month and it needs to stay balanced. And we've been very fortunate in the people we've had in that slot. Thanks again, Sylvia.
Thank
You're
you, Phil.
welcome.
Anything else for Sylvia? All right. Thanks, Sylvia. You can stop sharing. And Kayla, can you bring the screen, go to speaker? Whoops, no, go on the Zoom. Hold on. Here, let's change the view to gallery. Okay. Now let's do introductions. I'm James Goldstene, president of the River City ARCs.
I'm Kayla Jarrett, KA6 Wiley.
I'm Glenn, KM6 RGQ.
My name is Tom, Whiskey 6 Bravo Sierra, and we refer to the puppy as a raptor. So she's in the raptor stage.
Good evening, all. I'm Anders, November Romeo 6 Hotel.
All right, this is Wilson, November 6, Echo Mike Foxtrot.
KD6 GVY Arthur Clark.
Miller, KF6 VHC.
Ken, KE6 RMN newsletter editor.
Jim, KF6 Juliet Foxtrot.
Dave, KK6 MVJ.
Bob, N6 PGQ.
Neil, Kilo Lima 7 Hotel Quebec Romeo from Antelope.
Gert, Kilo 6 Zulu Golf Alpha.
And I'm Hank, Kilo 6 Hotel Uniform Hotel.
I'm Tawny, Tango Alpha Whiskey November Yankee.
Mike, Kilo Oscar 6 Charlie India Lima.
I'm Kishore, Kilo Romeo 6 Romeo Alpha Oscar.
And I'm Chuck, Kilo 6 Papa Alpha Sierra.
Good evening, everybody. This is Don, Whiskey 6 Papa Juliet Juliet.
Kilo Delta 6, Radio Mike, Phil.
Bob, Kilo Foxtrot 6, Alpha Bravo Charlie.
Mark, Alpha Juliet 6, Foxtrot Lima.
Gary, KG6, SMX.
All right, thanks, everybody. Dave, KK6MVJ is going to do a short presentation about Madge. So take it away, Dave.
Well, I hope you'll take these fruit of the gods. My wife baked them in
Zoom.
honor of
Dave, sorry to interrupt you. I forgot, we got to do introductions for the folks on Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll hold tight.
Yeah, thank you. Nelson, go ahead. Why don't we start with you? We can't hear you. Well, all right, but we know you're there. Okay, who else is there? Steve, K6BZ.
Okay, hello everyone. Stephen, Kilo 6 Bravo Zulu. Nice to see everybody in attendance.
Thanks for joining us. Art, KD60 or Q? KD6Q.
No, it's Oscar.
Oscar, okay.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Honored to be among you this evening, and looking forward to getting to know you all.
Thanks for joining us. And Sean, KM6NFO. You're muted, Sean. All right. Well, we'll move on. Who else is there? Tony. Go ahead, Tony.
Tony, KE6IJF. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. And John, if you're there. Bill.
Good evening, everybody. Bill, November 6, Echo Foxtrot.
Thanks, Bill. And Whiskey Alpha 6, Lima X-Ray Delta. I don't know who that is. All right. Well, and Carol.
Yeah. Hello again.
Okay. And Sylvia. All right. Dave, go ahead. Thanks.
All right. Sorry we almost left those folks out that are at home enjoying a nice, cool evening in the air conditioning. I'm Dave, KK6MVJ. As I started to say, in honor of Madge, her daughter, Frances, had mentioned that one of her favorite things that my wife bakes, my wife is also Filipina, are called fruit of the gods. And so we've brought plenty for everybody for their snack. I think you'll like them. I will warn you, if you have any nut allergies, there are nuts in these. And but Frances mentioned how much her mom always enjoyed these. Their family's been at our place a few times. And I was going to display this last week, James, and actually JoJo said, hold off. Just a simple card saying, in memory of Dr. Madge Melendres, N6 MAJ, born May 17, 1974, became a silent key May 19, 2025. She was a wife of Dr. Jojo Melendres, KN6 HTD, and mother of Frances Melendres, KN6, what is it, LRN, and Jade Melendres, LRO. And then James is the son, and he's not yet a ham. And I took this obituary which pretty much says the same thing with a few other things. From one of the things that's announcing the fund drive for JoJo's family. The plans, as I understand, JoJo, is to have church services this weekend. Francis was coming back from a quick trip to Mexico, and Jade's headed off to China. So this was the plan. I haven't heard where or whether there's a wake or anything like that. We will attend again, because my wife is Filipino and we're going to the Philippines, and it was JoJo that actually put me in contact with people there, and I will be visiting with them in July and August while I'm there. And they are it's through the Pinoy link. Pinoy link is showing advertising to get people to help us with the state fair. So we're hoping that we'll get the many Filipino radio operators that are in Southern California, for the majority, that group, to help us promote ham radio. So we can thank JoJo and Madge for all they've done behind the scenes. James was part of the HeartNet last night and this morning, and I think we can demonstrate to JoJo that they've created a really good thing, and James and I fumbled around and we got the net this morning going, and everything went well. So I think we've tried to help their family along a little bit through our mutual hobby. So please enjoy. James, did you prepare coffee or something in the back room?
I'll make some decaf.
Okay.
Yeah, while Bob's talking.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dave. You know, Madge she died 2 days after her 51st birthday the other week. So very sad. Go ahead, Bob.
Did you say fruit of the gods?
Fruit. Well, I don't know.
Hold it closer to your mouth.
I say, he asked if it was root of the gods. No, it's fruit.
Fruit of the gods. Is there alcohol in it?
No.
No alcohol, but there are nuts.
There are dates.
Okay.
Dates, and it's very tasty, a little bit sweet. So I think that you will all take a bite, and we can all think about Madge.
All right. Thank you, Dave. And we heard JoJo on the air at the end of the net today. It was great to hear him, and hopefully he'll start coming up for air, and we'll be able to see him more. Thank you very much for that, Dave. All right. The next item on the agenda is to talk about field day planning and strategy. We're still looking for a field day captain, but in the absence of a captain, I've used my executive authority and power to nominate N6PGQ. I've just made you officially the field day captain. That means you have to go. But, you know, it takes all of us to make it work. We're going to set up on Friday the 26th. Yes? Well, we have to figure that out. So we're going to talk about that. We have the club trailer that Bob's going to get from Marie in a couple weeks, and we got to clean that. Who's towing the trailer? Okay. And we're going to go to Bob's house and clean it out and fix it up and get the spiders out and take a look at what equipment we have. We have a really cool hex beam. We have some great antennas, which we'll need help putting up on field day. The space at Dry Creek Ranch is big enough that if you want to camp, you want to bring your trailer or your camper, you can. Is that right? Yeah. And are you going to do that, Tom? Okay. And then Saturday, we're going to have a club barbecue. And so we're going to need everybody to sign up so we know how many people are going to be there. We're going to set up, we've been fortunate enough to have radios donated to the club. So there'll be club stations set up that anybody can use. And you're all welcome to bring your own radios and set up. There's plenty of space to spread out. Okay, that's why you're the captain. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna make coffee.
Okay, I'm going to sit here and we use my calendar here. On the 20th of June, which is a Friday, my plan is to drive to Marie's and pick up the club trailer and park it at my house. And then after the breakfast on the 21st, anyone who is interested can come by and help us inventory and repackage and work on the equipment that's in the trailer, make sure we have working stations, enough things to make the field day work. If it's kind of messy like it was the last time I looked in there, we'll probably go to Home Depot or Costco and buy some tubs and put things in proper order. James said you can bring your own gear. He's right, but you will need to be coordinated with the club's activity. You can't just bring your rig, stick up an antenna, and start working field day, because you will interfere with what's going on at the site. We have bandpass filters that we use, and that usually lets you know what band you're operating on. Since we have a fixed number of bandpass filters, if you want to work 20, you have to have the 20-meter bandpass filter so that you can operate. We have a hex beam and combiner so that 2 or 3 different bands can be used at the same time on the same antenna. And it worked out real well the last time I was there and used it. So I'm going to give this back to James because he's going to do signups. But field day starts at 11 o'clock on the dot. And so we need people there earlier than that to make sure that the radios are working, batteries are connected, and all the gear works. On Friday, we'll have relatively safe things left at the field day site. So we aren't going to leave radios there. We aren't going to leave computers there that might develop legs and walk away and go home with themselves. So field day, we're going to start at 11 o'clock. Hopefully everything's set up. We'll be operating probably 3 or 4A, which means there's either 3 or 4 operating stations, and A means that you are using non-shore power electricity, batteries and things like that. In the far distant past, we've used a generator, but with the proliferation of lithium batteries and solar panels, we've been able to run the radios on the batteries for the entire 24 hours of field day. And so we get bonus points for doing that. What other things? Yes, antennas will go up on Friday. Coax will be laid out and be ready to be plugged in on Saturday morning. Let's see. Food will have a dinner break on Saturday, and if we can talk the treasurer into it, we'll probably have some, sodas and water and things like that there. The weather on field day is usually very hot, so dress appropriately. We'll have hopefully enough pop-up covers to keep us in the shade. There's some nice trees there that if we plan, especially on Friday, to look where the shade is and put the stations at that point, we should be okay. Anyway, that's all I've kind of got to say. Oh, and then the other important thing is at 11 o'clock on Sunday, if we could have some people that have had a good night's sleep, that didn't come to field day and stay half the night or anything like that, People with a good night's sleep will probably not trip over things and have antennas crash on their head and things like that. So that it would be really nice if you signed up for the takedown session. So I'm done yakking. We'll let our president do some signups unless somebody has a question. Yes, Tom.
I took over his microphone, so I had a question about Friday. What time do you expect people to come and help set up antennas? Usually we try and do it in the morning, the previous years. What's the idea?
Morning sounds really good to me. I can be there anytime. I'll have to drive the trailer there. So, let me know. Morning's good because you beat the heat. Afternoons might be okay if people are working and needed to get gotten off of work, but it gets really hot that time and you get real grumpy and maybe careless. So morning on Friday sounds good to me.
And how are we going to coordinate schedules? Is there something on, I know online, I looked at the website, there is a place to check in to sign up for field day. It's on the very top of the n6n8.org website. And I did it before I came here, so I could say that, yes, it works.
Well, you just sign up for 24 hours. Then you have no problem.
There's 2 spots, and basically you have it AM, PM, and night for each day. One is to say that, yes, you're going, and the other is, yes, I'm bringing stuff, and this is what I'm bringing. So that's good to know. Also, they have refrigerators already there. So if you have things that you want to
I believe all they have there is a freezer, but there may be a refrigerator.
Well, they had three or four last year, and as Sylvia would remember as well. So I think we'll be good set up to cool things in bulk.
I can go over and check, but last year, am I unmuted? Yeah. Yeah.
You're good,
last
Sylvia.
year they had 2 working fridges plus 2 freezers that we could use. So it would be very helpful if you can you if you can hear me, can someone put a thumb up?
We can hear you.
It would be very helpful to get kind of a head count for those people who are going to show up at dinner time. So, because I always get too much food. And I don't mind getting too much food, but I don't like getting way too much food. So if you think you're going to show up, it would be helpful to know. If you decide at the last minute to come by, please come by because I always get too much food. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Bob. Anybody have other questions about this?
Yeah, one of the things that we agreed that, Tom, I will work with you on setting up the network for the logging to whatever degree that's necessary. I will be there on Friday, so and I'll be there also for the close down. Oh, I didn't quite hear what you said. Oh, Bill, Hotel Alpha. Okay, one thing that you may want to check with Carol to see if she has coordinated, or maybe you have, with any dignitaries to show up or anything. And I'll also be the greeter like I was last year.
A couple things. What Neil was talking about, for those who don't know, is that the computers that are going to be used for logging will all be using the same software, and they'll be linked together. So if you have a contact that someone else just had, your logging software will flash red and say it's a duplicate. So that's what Neil and maybe Bill will help set up. The couple other things, we all need to be very in the mode of greeting anybody who shows up. We got some complaints last year and the year before where people showed up and they were ignored, and we just can't have that. Everybody, if you see somebody show up and they're standing there looking around, go grab them, make them sit down, engage with people. I know some of us are very serious about contesting and we don't want to be disturbed, but I think the main thing is to be very gregarious, which can be hard for some of us because look at Phil, right?
Hey, James,
uh,
did we actually get complaints from last year? Because
we did, and I got a written complaint, a very strongly worded written complaint this afternoon after I sent out the reminder about this meeting. So,
all right. I thought we did a pretty good job last.
I'm sure we did, but yeah. Does anybody have a current? Anders does, but I want to talk about that, but Anders isn't going to be with us. So another point, we'll come back to that in a second. Another point I want to make, particularly for the new hams or people who are working on their license, is the great thing about an event like this is that you're using the club call sign. And so under a control operator who has a license. So for example, Tani, who's studying for her license, or Miller, who's a relatively new licensee, you can go on all the fun bands while we're under those conditions. So it really gives you a chance to see what it's like. And I will also say, for those who are studying for an upgrade or getting their initial license, when you do your studying after coming to an event like this, so much of what you're studying makes sense. It's like, oh, that's why they keep asking me that question. Now I get it. So I really encourage, and you can bring your family and your friends, drag them out there and say, look what I'm interested in.
When I show up and I want to talk to someone in another part of the country, I find one of you guys and then I do it. And just because it's a sanctioned event, just because it's an event where there's so many licensed people present. So I would say, what's the control operator number? And then hop on there and just start talking. Okay, that's the N6 NA. Okay.
Okay, a control operator is the person that is responsible for the station. They are responsible that you are using all the requirements that the FCC has. You're in the proper part of the band. You're identifying all the kind of things that are required for a radio conversation, for a transmission, is being adhered to. The control operator will be limited to the frequencies and type of transmission that is with their license class. So since there are a lot of extra class radio operators, you'll be able to work all the bands and all the frequencies and all the modes. So just make sure the person at the radio's a control operator, and you can sit down and operate. Then they will check you out. And it's not just because this is a big event. If you came to my house, you could operate my radio under my supervision.
All right, let's go back. Those were excellent questions. Oh, Bob, go ahead.
I have a question for Bob.
Yeah, talk directly into it. No, you're not like Edie Gourmet. No, talk into the microphone. You're not doing a nightclub act.
My question for Bob is, since you're losing support on your antenna, are you going to bring it to Dry Creek and auction it off?
But I want to emphasize, this is an event, this is meant to be a public event to show off the hobby to the community. I haven't talked with Carol yet about whether if we have any dignitaries coming. We usually get local politicians, state legislators and others come out. News media will cover it. So I don't know what we're doing on that yet, but I have a feeling it'll be, go ahead, Tony.
How many non-ham people showed up last year?
I was gone last year. How many people showed up? Kids? Got 5 or 6. But we need to get more. I mean, maybe eventually I'll get my wife to come. Still, she hasn't met you guys after all these years. Yeah, we do that. Yeah, thanks, Don. That's good. Here's the thing about CW, learning CW, is you keep the headphones on, and she's given up. She just knows I can't hear her. No, but now there's a physical block. I want to go ahead, Tony. Noise canceling headphones. Then you really can't hear. Bob, on the first aid issue, how do we fix that? Does the club have a first aid kit at least? Oh, we get points. Does somebody want to volunteer to be a safety officer, Chuck? No. Okay. Anders won't be around. Okay. So it's great to see Chuck, KK6PAS. Great having you back. And Anders, who's very active with the North Hills Club, has joined us tonight. The North Hills Radio Club is going to be having field day at Davis Ranch off of Jackson Road. And the Sierra Foothills Club will be at the Georgetown Airport. And I think you're going to be at the Georgetown Airport. Also, I just want to give a special shout out to Anders. Anders is NR6H. And anytime there's an issue with a repeater, hey, Gert and Neil, hold on a second. Anytime there's an issue with a repeater, the person who has to drive out to the hot brick building to fix it is Anders. So thank you for that. He works with Chris, and he works with Chris and 6ICW, and anybody else? Is it just you two? Just you two. I'd eventually like to go out and see what that looks like. Okay. All right. We do want you to sign up online on the n6na.org website. You do not have to be licensed to sign up. It doesn't matter what your class of license is if you have a license. But we'd like to know generally who's coming and generally when that works for your schedule. And we want to get as many people out there and have as much fun as possible. Bob, what else is there?
Okay. All right. So dinner time. You need to bring something. Bring something that won't die in the heat, like potato salad, or put a lot of ice around it or something like that. So we're going to have food. If you're coming to eat, there's a sheet of paper there. Tell what you're going to do. Bring food, bring myself, bring a rig, help with the barbecue, whatever. Write down what you can do, and then we'll find you and make sure you're doing what you signed up for. Everybody bring something to eat, some cookies, stuff you can munch on overnight if people are doing all-nighters. Yeah. You sleep on the ground. Just one thing, somebody needs to contact Dry Creek Ranch and remind them to turn the sprinklers off. Don't ask me how I know that. They came on automatically at about 2 o'clock in the morning with the rigs all sitting out there. No. Food.
What's the club providing?
Usually the club provides hamburgers and hot dogs, sodas, and water. So Phil, that's your job. Sit in your vineyards, right?
Sylvia needs to know roughly how many people are coming so she can buy the right amount of food. That's kind of imperative that she know. And that's why it's important that we get your names on the list.
Right. So we need, please sign up online because that alone will give us an idea of how many people are coming. And I did this paper sheet. So for the folks here, please fill it out to the best of your ability. And if you haven't gone online, fill that out as well. And we'll try to bring them together. A couple. Kayla, Ken, Mark. Okay. By the way, nighttime operation is the best time to operate. You get the most fun at night. Yeah. And there's less competition. Let's online. How many are planning on coming? Can I have a show of hands on the folks on Zoom?
I'll be there, Bill.
All right, Bill. Good. I see a few hands. Thank you.
So we cannot hear questions that don't come. We only hear one side of your conversation. I would like to add if you can bring camp chairs to sit in, that would
Oh
be
yeah, make
good.
sure to bring. Be mostly self-sufficient when you come with some food and chairs, and if you're setting up your own rig, a table. Go ahead, Bob.
No.
Oh, we have a question online. Somebody had a question online. I saw a hand up, but I can't see it. Who was it, Kayla?
Tony.
Hey, Tony. You
Yes.
have a question?
I just want to be sure about Friday setting up. I know it's the AM, but is it 0800, 10 o'clock, or when?
Friday, we're going to meet Friday at 9 to do this, do the club setup.
Friday at 9. Now, I think there may be a misunderstanding. If you're bringing your radio to operate, we will trade out one of our radios for your radio. You're not going to set up your own station and your own antenna and say, I'm going to be N6NA, unless we absolutely need you. The club should have everything set up on Friday.
Plus Bill.
Say it again, Sylvia.
Plus Bill usually comes and sets up his station.
CW.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as we have enough bandpass filters, or if you really want to set up your own system, you need to be integrated into the N6NA computer logging environment, and you need to be far enough away so we don't have interference with each other.
James, I have my own bandpass filters.
Perfect. Okay.
And I have
good.
my own laptop.
All right. Thanks, Bill. That's perfect. That's perfect.
He operates really well with everything else, and there's a lot of communication. He's got his whole own cabin.
Right. No, I've seen it. I'm looking forward to it. That's great. So the main operation will be the club radios. You can bring your radio and plug into one of the big antennas. If you want to do your whole setup with your radio and antenna, we'll work with you to try to figure it out to make sure we can integrate it into the N6NA club accounting environment. Don, what do you, Don?
You can put some of these people.
Right. That's right. We can put some people on. Right. Right. That's a good idea.
And
Can
we
you, re-
probably
can you repeat the comment?
Yeah, Dawn was saying that we can be on VHF as well. I mean, we can use all the modes, and if we use other modes, it'll reduce the amount of interference.
So to be clear, we're talking about to set up antennas. It'll be Friday at 9 a.m., correct?
correct.
All right. And we generally have an idea where to put antennas. We'll try and do as well as we did last year, or maybe better. The big work is actually putting the tower up for the hex beam. So if everybody could join us at 9 a.m. and get that done, and we'll just leave it there, and it'll be ready to go on Saturday when we're ready to operate. And we'll have coax ready to run.
Yeah, a quick question, Tom. If I recall, last year we had the hex beam. We had, of course, we have the CW operation on a separate antenna, and we had long wires for 40. I don't think we had 80. I think we had an inverted V. So what are the antennas? Of course, we're going to look into the trailers, see what's there. But do you recall what antennas?
Yeah, last year we set up the hex beam, which takes care of 10 meters, 15 meters, and 20 meters. And 20 meters is a very active band. So whoever would like to get on that, that's going to be very busy. And you can do a lot of talking. And it pretty much goes most of the night. So you can do day and night, theoretically. We did 40 meters on a painter pole in an inverted V. Basically, one end of the leg went to a trellis by the bathroom, to be specific. And the other end went to a tree. We used the tower for the hex beam for an 80-meter run. So we had 80 meters tied up to the tower itself, and then run as far as we could away an 80-meter distance to another tree. And then we had coax running back to our stations.
Don, did you have another question? No? Okay.
Hello, how much Morse code will be there?
CF Online is a Morse code expert. And Dawn, and I may do a little if I'm allowed to. Yeah, so there'll be more. There'll be all the modes. Are we going to do FT8 maybe? Are we doing?
James, I can do FT8 and FT4. I did that last year and
Okay.
made quite a few contacts. So I'm willing to do it if somebody wants to learn. I'll be more than happy to teach anybody that wants to learn anything about FT8 or FT4. FT4 is a little more hectic because it's 7.5 seconds per transmission and reception, whereas FT8 is 15 seconds. So
Right.
I'll be willing to, anybody that wants to learn, I'll be more than happy to show you how.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Bill.
Plus I'll be doing CW if that's okay with everybody, and anybody that wants to operate CW, come on by and we'll have fun.
Yeah, the cool part is his antenna is vertical and ours are horizontal, but we still hear his tick tick ticks when he's doing sending. Andrews brought up that sometimes you have a station that you have some walk-on people, and you have what we refer to as a get on the air station or a GOTA station. In the past, we've used an FM radio just to get on the air. If we have enough radios, we can try and set up a GOTA station as well. I hadn't thought about it, but Bob, if you would like to do that, we could add that to the mix.
I think that's a good idea. Other questions? Questions online? Bob?
Okay, yeah, just real quickly, the bands you can operate for field day are 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, 10, and all bands 50 megahertz and above. So that's 6 meters, 2 meters, 220, 440, something in the gigahertz. 1296, sure. Bring an antenna, bring a radio.
Other questions? All right. Before we break for Fruit of the Gods, and I made some decaf coffee, why don't we do show and tell? Please, when you get home, if you haven't signed up online for the field, go to the field day link and sign up so we know who's coming. And I did put a piece of paper on the table back there if you also want to write down when you're going to be there and what you're interested in participating in. Any questions online? All right, let's do some question. Tom?
We use Discord chat for Field Day often, and there is a section on Discord for Field Day 2025. It's not necessarily active, but if you are interested in taking photos while you're there and you want to upload to one place, get on the Discord chat, and it's really easy to upload your images, and we'll collect them all together and present what it looked like when we finally put all the summary together.
When the sprinklers come on. I hope that doesn't happen. You do, because the folks online can't hear you.
In the past, I bought some of my camera gear and photographed all the stuff that was going on. I'm willing to do that again this year. And then you just give me the address where you want me to put the stuff, and I'll turn everything 5x7s and go around and cover everybody, and then I'll upload all the stuff to wherever you want me to put it.
All right.
Is there a meeting in person here before the field day?
And the address is online, Tawny. Yeah. Yes. Bob, anything else? So when are we going to your house with the when's the trailer?
21st after breakfast.
So our next club breakfast at Brookfields on Madison. The Brookfields on Madison on the 21st. After that breakfast, we're going to Bob's house to go through the trailer. So everybody's invited. That'll be fun.
At the board meeting, we did talk about, at the board meeting, we talked about the fact that we have run into several conflicts between our breakfast time and our event time. And so we had discussed whether we wanted to alternate doing the breakfast. Like this month, it has to only be the first, the Madison Brookfield. Next month, there's a conflict that would make it better to only do the Rancho Brookfields, and whether we might want to just do it that way instead of paying for 2 breakfasts every month, because it gets a little pricey. Anyway, you can give us your input.
Well, what Gert is saying is we're experimenting with a second breakfast, but in June, because of Field Day, we won't have the second breakfast. We'll be at Field Day. So the one and only breakfast is the 3rd Saturday at Brookfields on Madison, and then we're going to Bob's house figure out what equipment we have. And then for July, what Gert is asking is, do we want to stick with 2 breakfasts, or do we want to alternate locations, 1 month Madison, 1 month Sunrise? So any feedback on that would be appreciated. For the moment, we're doing 2 a month, but we'd like everybody's feedback on that. Any other questions about Field Day? If you have questions or comments, send them to contact@n6na.org, and those will go to all of us. What I'd like to do quickly is show and tell now. And I think, whose FTX1 is that?
Yeah, before we go to show and tell, I would suggest that before you guys go get the coffee and the goodies, let's make a line over there and do the sign up. That's a requirement before you get that. Okay, I'll start it.
Okay, good. Kishore, go ahead. Show and tell. Oh.
Sure, yeah, this is the FTX1 field. It's a new radio. I wanted something which is portable, and I have the Yaesu FT991A, which is I've liked it so far, and it's been good. And thought it would stick with Yaesu. It's pricey, but you know, this is the hobby of, I guess, investment. So
It's cheaper than a boat.
so it's a
Right.
it's a dual radio type of thing. It's got all bands. It's a shack in a box, so as to say. It's got digital modes, everything. Haven't got it up and running much. I got it on some of the local repeaters because I have to program everything by hand. And then HF, the bands were pretty bad, so didn't get much out of it. But it's got two antennas in the back, a HF and a VHF antenna. So that works out good. And comes with the battery. And it, you know, like I was telling some others, it's pretty heavy. I didn't expect it to be heavy, but it's a big battery. It also comes with a tuner you can attach to it, and which is extra. It costs more. But this also comes in what they call the Optima version, which includes a 100-watt amplifier. So basically, it looks like an FT991A. It's a 100-watt rig, so as to say. So haven't played with it much, but I love the menu system. I think it's like the FT10,
710.
710 type
Yeah.
of menu system, and it's got the scope on it and a bunch of stuff. You know, yeah, I'm experimenting with learning it and stuff, and it's looks like it's pretty good.
You like it better than the 991.
I think I like it. It's got 2 speakers in the front. It's really loud. It can go, it's a 6-watt with the internal battery. We could connect an external supply and get to 10 watts. So it's pretty much a QRP rig. Yeah, if the question is, you take the battery off, is there a place to put the supply? And yes, there is. So you can have your lithium-ion battery. Yeah, DC inputs right there in the corner. Yeah, and then you can also actually charge the battery while you're transmitting. And I tried plugging in, standard USB-C, thing like my computer thing into this, and then it bumped up to 10 watts right away. So, 6 jumps to 10. So I'm still figuring it out. I know Bill N6HA is also wanting to get one of these, and I think he's getting the Optima version.
He is, okay. I know he was interested. He was hoping it was full duplex. Are they going to do a software upgrade to make
I
that
don't know.
happen? Or
I think it can be full duplex. It's certainly
you would
not.
think so. It seems like
Yeah.
the hardware's there.
What's the model number again?
Hold on, Don. It's the FTX1 Field. I'll bring it.
The
to the-
Yaesu FTX1 Field version. Field is the QRP version.
So
It's the question is
Kishore brought
pricey.
this to share. Yeah.
The list price is $14.99, but
$14.99.
$149.99. Sorry. And then with the tuner, it's about $300 except for the tuner. But HRO had a promo which I put a $35 deposit on it, and they called me up and said, if you buy it today, it's $50 off. So I'm a sucker for a deal, so I got that.
That's really good. Do you want to show it?
Anybody wants to come out? and
Once you
take a look
show
at
it on the camera, can you bring
Yeah.
it up to the camera?
If anybody wants to play around with it when you come at the end of the
Yeah.
meeting, please do. Feel free.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a nice size display. Yeah. That's very cool. Thanks for bringing that, Kishore. Questions for Kishore about the FTX1? We hope to see you out there. We can go do a POTA together if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to do FT8 and the POTA. That's what I kind of bought it for. So
Right.
that's
That's good. All right, I have something to share. And I'm happy that Anders is here because he helped me build this. This is a Morserino which is a device that you can use to practice CW. And this was a kit that Wilson and Anders and I got together. And then we went to Anders's office, which has like 6 soldering stations. It's more than that. And everything I soldered, Anders cleaned up and redid. So it looks, so you can look at the soldering on this. And but this is a nice little device. Are they? Did he stop making these? These are from Austria. Anders and Wilson. Were these? Is a guy in Austria who made these? Yeah. Oops, that's this. Hang on. I will. I'm just trying to get the volume up here. So this is the Morserino kit. This allows you to practice CW. And it's a nice little kit. It's very popular in some circles. And it has an antenna to allow you to do, you can connect, I think maybe to V-band and maybe to other Morserino users through Wi-Fi. We did that one day on a LICW class where through Wi-Fi you can connect to other users and have QSOs. So it's a pretty cool, pretty cool little device. So that's a Wi-Fi antenna. It's a special name. Anders knows the name of that kind of antenna. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have anything else to share?
I don't know if any of you have been down to Alameda to see the California Historical Radio Society's museum. It's quite an affair. They started at what had been the KRE studios on Ashby at I-80, and they were going to rebuild that as a project. And I learned of them way back then, and I had some radios that I was going to donate. And then they got kicked out of the building. The building is used for broadcast, but I understand the owners just allowed the thing just fall apart. It's a beautiful Art Deco building. So they found a telephone building, pre-Bell. This is the original telephone supplier in Alameda. And they've turned that into a museum. I gave them a whole bunch of radios. I had some Gonzit radios from the 40s and 50s. One was a tri-band mobile that I used when I was in college. Just throw a wire out the window and listen to international stations, exchange QSL cards, and had quite a collection. So I do recommend that you go. Their best day is Saturday. They do have a presence on the web, so you can learn about their programs. And I do highly recommend going down there.
What's the name of it again, Dave?
California Historical Radio Society, CHRS.
Very good.
.org.
All right. So here's what I'd like to do. Are there any comments or questions before we get to the prize giveaway? And after the prize giveaway, you're going to follow Neil to the sign-up sheet, and then you can get some Fruit of the Gods and some decaf coffee. That's the order that we're going to do things in, because Neil said so. That's good. All right. Gert, are you ready for? Okay. Late check-in. The band conditions have been really bad because of a coronal mass ejection, solar wind. The K level's been high. The solar wind has been low. I'm trying to remember how this all goes. Anyway, welcome to the world of HF. So I saw somebody say they've been a ham for 50 years. They've never seen the bands this dead. It's also affecting Starlink and the space station and everything else. It's been really, the solar activity has been really.
I have a silly comment. The bands aren't dead.
The bands aren't dead. Okay, thank you. Well, they better not be dead if you have a new radio. But I've seen several posts on Facebook and other people who actually think there's a problem with their radio or their antenna because the bands have been so dead. In fact, Jay, N6SAC, was going to check in a couple weeks ago to our Saturday afternoon net, and it was terrible. Only Wilson and I could hear each other. And he thought he had a problem with his antenna or his radio. So we're in this cycle right now that been kind of rough. I think it'll eventually get better. Okay, Gert, do you want to have Miller, our new member, make the draw? Okay. You can draw your own too. There's no. Oh, wait. Chuck doesn't have a ticket.
Who doesn't have a ticket?
Chuck.
Oh, we'll fix that.
Oh, my goodness.
I got to play with it.
All right. All right. There's a system. I'm not allowed to touch it. Okay. Oh, thank you. So, prizes 40 feet of coax. They were out of 50. But it saved the club $10. So, think about that. A tiny spectrum analyzer. A vector network analyzer. And an ICOM ICV80 handheld radio. So the winner of the draw can pick one of these as their prize. All right, so Miller, hang on a second. Thank you for volunteering to do that. and Phil in September will be teaching a 2 Tuesdays in a row seminar on how to use these devices. The Nano VNA. Yeah.
One 56455.
476. Who has 455? We have a winner. All right, what are you gonna it's a missed call? Oh. Dawn has 455. Excellent. See, Dawn, that's why it's good to come. All right, Dawn, you have to pick. You don't have to pick something. You can pass if you want. You can pick something and all right, Dawn, congratulations. The coax is very popular. All right, where did Neil go? Neil, we're following you to the table for the sign up. Okay, so please sign up. I'll bring out the coffee. Dave, you want to unwrap the dessert? Anything else for the meeting tonight? Any other questions or comments? Anything online? All right. Hey, Mike, we see you, N1YCN. Thanks for joining us. And thanks, you guys. We hope to see you.
Sylvia, shall I send the prize, the ticket money home with Tom?
Yes, please.
I sent you a text indicating the amount.
I said yes. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, good night to everyone.
Okay.